What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on Keeping It Real with Credit live session. Once again, live and direct every week, at least live once a week to go ahead and answer your questions live and direct. As you know, I'm your host, Ray from Keeping It Real with Credit. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing because on this channel, we talk anything and everything regarding credit, personal finance, tips and tricks on real estate, automotive, investments, you name it. You're definitely going to go ahead and find it here. So, guys, without further ado, I kind of wanted to kick things off a little bit differently today. Today, I kind of wanted to leave off some of the credit repair results and kind of go and talk about, obviously, still answer your questions, but provide a little bit more insight as to perspectives and stuff like that about some questions that I've been getting asked pretty recently, especially in these last 2 weeks, and understandably so, given that this COVID-19 is kind of kicking off again without really no timeline or expectations as to when this is actually going to be over. I've been getting asked a lot, obviously, as to how much the service cost, or been getting some feedback as to the fees we charge, right? Which, guys, I always say, pricing is always based on the amount of negative items that you have, right? And so with that being said, I get a lot of questions as to how much the service costs. And again, like I said, pricing is always based on the amount of negative items that you have. In the meantime, guys, really quick, I almost forgot. For those of you guys that are tuning in or probably have tuned in before, the number on the screen you'll see is the number that you can call right now to get your free credit evaluation. In addition to that, there's also a link in the description that will allow you as well to schedule a free credit evaluation. And as usual, what I'm going to go ahead and do here for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste over my Calendly link. That way you guys see my availability. Lock it in to get your free 20-minute evaluation. No more than 20 minutes, guys, to get an idea as to what's going on with your credit and give you some realistic expectations as to what we can actually do here at ScoreShield Financial. So with that being said, guys, at any time, feel free to call the number in the screen or click the link that I just provided there on the chat for all of you guys. So in the meantime, guys, I wanted to provide some insight, again, guys, to the questions that have been asked. And the big question is, how much does a service cost? So again, pricing is always based on the amount of negative items that you have, and that's obviously discovered through the evaluation, right? And you're going to get a copy of that analysis. But guys, I wanted to put things in perspective, right? Because again, I think this is a service that I think is very valuable, and not to toot my own horn because it's my own company, but I think that the process of repairing or restoring your credit, right? There has to be more than a purpose of just getting a car or getting a home, right? Regardless, the fees are the fees because, again, we're one of the few companies that do dispute all negative items all at once on a month-to-month basis. Other companies may charge less than us, and that's understandable. But what I want you guys to do is be equipped when you guys are searching for the next credit repair company. Understand why the price is the price. And if they don't explain that to you, then ask the right questions. Other companies may charge less than us on the monthly service fee, right? But really ask yourself, what does that really include? Because we have clients that come into the program with 30, 50, 70. I know last time I showed you guys 138 items that we're going to have to take on. We pride ourselves on disputing all negative items. Other companies may charge less. However, if you're coming in with 20, they're only disputing 5 at a time, right? And one of the biggest credit repair companies out there, and I'm not going to go ahead and mention names. However, they have this regulation where you pay a monthly service fee. Out of 20 accounts, they're only disputing 5. And if any accounts come back verified after the first set of disputes, they cannot dispute that verified item for the next 4 to 5 months, right? And we have a lot of clients coming from that company over to us. And we've had clients come over to us after being 2, 5, 8, 12 years with that company, and their scores are not either increasing or the items are not being removed quick enough. With the way that we do it is that, again, we dispute all items all at once, and that generates a quicker result, right, on a month-to-month basis. And on average, clients are staying in our program anywhere between 6 to 8 months on the worst case scenario. However, that's still quicker than 7 years. Now, when it comes to the pricing, keep in mind that there is an office, and I do have a pretty knowledgeable staff when it comes to disputing items. In addition to that, we send all of our letters certified. This way, it provides a level of transparency where we're sending everything certified, and we provide tracking numbers if you need to, right? We like to show our work, we like to prove our work in case anything happens. We have all our ducks in a row. Regardless of how much you end up spending, right? Because again, I think the number is figuratively. Regardless of how much you end up spending, it's going to be small compared to the amount that's going to be lended to you because you have better credit, or the amount of money you're going to be saving because you have better credit, right? I mean, what's expensive is having bad credit, right? Because I think we can all agree that it pretty much it's a bummer, right? To apply and get denied every single time, or get approved and you're paying three times as much as the other person for the same thing, only because you have bad credit. And so again, I wanted to put this in perspective for you guys, because in this day and age, we're saving money, we're having, there's this epidemic going on. However, if we are going to spend money, I think credit restoration, whether it's with my company or not, credit restoration is something that's extremely important, and I think that should be invested in. One, because yeah, other than getting a car or a home, just having good credit, just because for an emergency like this COVID, can be a lifesaver. If you need some sort of medical procedure done that you don't have the money for, leveraging that credit can be great. However, let's take it a step further, right? Accessing multiple lines of credits, or as much credit as you can as possible, then really researching out there, whether it's on Google, on YouTube, other ways where you can spend a portion or all that money, and what's gonna give you that return. So instead of going out there and thinking about buying the latest and greatest vehicle, right, that may cost you, let's say $1,000 a month. Your dream car out there is $1,000 a month. you know you need to take a step back and said, okay, maybe I can afford this car right now. However, I have this much in lines of credit, right? Because I've been working hard for it. I've been applying for cards, and I've been able to accumulate over time X amount of an X amount of credit. What can I invest in that's gonna pay me the same amount that it takes for me to pay this vehicle? I think that's a better way to think about it. What can you invest in that you're going to get in return and be able to afford this car, be able to afford that home, be able to afford your lifestyle? Instead of using your money that you're working really hard for, right? What can you use your money that you use hard for, so that that money can go ahead and generate you even more money? And so I wanted to kind of explain these things to you guys, because I think we're kind of we're a lot's going on, and I know it can be very frustrating for a lot of people. But I wanted to put these things in a clear perspective for you guys when it comes to deciding on what your next move is, right? This is why I like to show everybody the free credit evaluation, because it's only 20 minutes of your time, and I'm giving you a full detailed analysis of all the items that are affecting your credit score or holding your credit score back, and giving you at least some sort of realistic expectations of what actually can be done, and you have a better understanding of the time frame that it could be done in. This way, if you're not ready to do it right now, that's okay. But this way, you can walk away with a plan in place and something that you can look forward towards or work towards, right? And so, in addition to you guys, in addition to help you guys out, my community, and as many people as I can help, is that we're running a huge fire sale special to the end of July, right? And that's literally 50% off. Again, pricing is always based on the amount of negative items. But it's crazy that I see a lot of people out there charging thousands of dollars for credit repair. That's ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. And especially paying it one time, which is also illegal, right? You cannot charge for work that hasn't already been done. That's why we do the work first, and we bill you 30 days later for the work that was done the month previously. It's not that we want to do it that way, or these are laws that we're making up. These are laws that were created by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. And there's something that's called the Credit Repair Organizations Act, which is a set of rules and regulations that credit repair organizations need to follow in order to stay in compliant with what the government put in place. And the government put that in place in the first place is to avoid deceptive practices from other companies or other people posing as credit repair agents or professionals that are not going that are not going by the rules and are taking advantage of people, right? Because credit restoration is a process, and it takes understanding, it takes education and knowledge to do it the right way. But most of all, it takes trust, right? And that's very important for me. That level of transparency and trust. And guys, I know that, again, a lot's going on. However, would highly recommend to take advantage of the free valuation. And once you're into the program, guys, what we do, and again, I'll take the time here and kind of explain the whole process and what you get for your money, right? If you do decide to hire us as your credit restoration agency. Once you're into the program, guys, you're going to have access to an online portal, right? This is why we can service anyone nationwide. You're going to have access to a portal. And the beautiful thing that I like about that portal is that it gives you an insight and a clear picture as to what my processing team, which is in here. And I say that because a lot of people, have outsourcing, which is nothing wrong with that. However, I like everybody to know that I'm not working out of my house. I'm working out of my office, and my staff is right here in the office with me, right? We're in a controlled area. Everything's secure as far as the information. We take security and what we do very serious here. And so my processing team in house here is gonna go ahead and help you guys and give you a clear picture through the portal as to what's going on with your file, what's been deleted, what's under dispute, how many days until you get correspondence back from the credit bureaus. And we email you and message you through the portal, which has a 256-bit encryption, right? The same level as banks. Every 15 to 30 days, we're going to communicate with you, and we're going to let you know. We're going to ask if you have any questions, and we're going to remind you, hey, in the next 2 weeks or so, you're going to have correspondence or results directly from the credit bureaus. We're going to need that, right? So this is why we're following up with you, because we're tentative to that. Without that, we can't really analyze what was changed, what was not, and how we're going to go ahead and proceed forward. So we communicate with you frequently. You're also more than welcome to call us during our business hours. And if it's outside of our business hours, again, you can message us securely through the portal. Everybody that enrolls into the program has my number, my direct number. So again, you can always message me and text me, and I'm always available, right? In addition to that, we send your letters out from the moment that you sign up. We send your letters out within the next 5 to 7 business days, right? After my team goes ahead and reanalyzes the credit report, develops the strategy, then creates the letter based on the strategy that we've created, then package it up in the envelope, put it certified, and ship it out as soon as possible, right? Then once it takes about, let's give or take like a week to get to the credit bureaus. From the moment the credit bureaus receive it, and we know why, because we're sending it certified. We're paying that extra cost for everybody because it lets us know when it gets there, and we're able to prove to you when it gets there. The 30 days that the Fair Credit Reporting Act allows for the credit bureaus, that right there is, it gives it around, let me see here, 30 days, right, to respond back. Hold on, guys. I want to make sure that we're not getting questions here. For the most part, 30 days starts from the moment they receive it. Once that happens, we must give it 30 days. After 30 days, the credit bureau should send you any results or correspondence. We're sending it each individually per credit bureau. And what that does is, we're able to get that back and again and reanalyze if necessary. And this is what we do on a month-to-month basis with you. So our processing team has a strategy in place of the whole process in which they're going to go ahead and follow. In addition to that, along with that, we give you clear insight as to what the changes were in comparison from when you started. And we give you recommendations on financial products that we recommend for you to increase your score, because we don't just remove credit over here. And if we remove credit, there has to be some sort of building along with it. So another aspect of what we do for all of our clients is, again, educate you guys on what you should do simultaneously along with what we're doing. and we give you links and recommendations to either secured cards or certain financial products that are geared and designed to add to your credit report, whether it's reporting to all three credit bureaus, whether it's recording on-time payments, which is crucial to building your credit, right, which is 35% of your score. And we simultaneously work with you and build a plan in place for you. If you have a high balance on your credit card, we work with you and to kind of strategizing a plan in place to go ahead and bring that balance down to under 30%, because that also contributes to that. Because it doesn't help at all whatsoever to go ahead and, you know, remove items from your credit reports, but you're adding inquiries or you're missing late payments on other accounts. That kind of sets everything back. And so it's crucial that we work together. So that's why the communication is so high on a month to month basis, right? And other than that, it's pretty much a month to month thing, and there's a strategy and there's a purpose for everything that we do. With that being said, guys, the part of the free credit evaluation is once you get in, we recommend, well, actually we don't recommend, it's imperative that everybody in our program has credit monitoring. And credit monitoring, this particular one that we usually recommend, which is Identity Club, it's the biggest bang for your buck. Not only does it give you credit monitoring alerts and scores, but it also has identity theft protection for you and everybody in your household up to $1 million. And I think that's crucial because not only is it mandatory to have that within our program, because it lets you and me know exactly when things happen so we can react accordingly. It also adds another level of transparency to you guys because anytime something changes and happens, well, you see it too and you know who's responsible for that. And in addition to that, that also syncs up to your online portal. And anytime something changes, it updates automatically to your portal. So anytime you log in to see exactly what the processing team here is doing for you, you're also going to see the updates and changes that Identity Club is going ahead and feeding back to your portal in order to so that you can see your changes and track progress over time. Right? These things are extremely crucial throughout this process. And with Identity Club, it's only $1 to join with them, and it's gonna give us access to three scores, and three reports. And again, guys, I also see a lot of people complaining that they have to pay $1 for this for Identity Club or credit monitoring. Guys, listen here. And again, I'm gonna speak to you guys like family, and again, this is constructive. But for the most part, guys, listen. You didn't get your credit scores and credit reports to where it's at overnight. You understand? So the process of credit restoration cannot be done overnight. And in addition to that, guys, you have to look at this as an investment, right? You for one reason or another, you let your credit scores get to where it's at. So there has to be some sort of a cost, some sort of an investment. Whether you're doing it on your own, there has to be some sort of cost, time, and investment put into your scores, put into your reports, put into your accounts in order to maximize those scores. Because think about it, guys, we can't lose sight as to what the goal here really is. Whether it's looking for your car, whether it's looking for your home, whether it's opening up a business, whether it's trying to get a loan or pay for some sort of medical cost. I don't know what it is, but regardless of that, we can't lose sight of the goal and the benefits to having. I mean, I don't think to this point that I had to explain as much as the importance of having good credit. We all know, whether you're educated in credit or not, we all know what the benefits are to having good credit. Everybody would want. I don't need to convince you on why you need an 800 credit score or an 850 credit score. I mean, if everybody checks up their Credit Karma or any other credit monitoring site and they see that they have an 800 and 850, I already know that the first thing people are going to think of is to go ahead and buy something. Typically either a car or maybe your next home. But for the most part, we need to look at credit as something that we can go ahead and leverage, that we have access to. And instead of buying the next TV, buying designer clothes, buying designer sneakers, or whatever else you can spend it on that's not going to give you a return on investment, we need to be looking at those things. And that's exactly how I started off way back in the days. I had a big lump sum of money come hit my bank account once I got out the Marine Corps. Me as a disabled veteran, and unfortunately, I let that money go to waste because I didn't know how to do it. And when I thought I had an opportunity to go ahead and invest in it intelligently, at least to what I thought, with the banker, literally going on my way to the bank, I got a phone call from the guy I was going to meet with, and he called me to confirm, hey, how much money you have to invest, and I told him the amount, and obviously it was nowhere near close to the amount that I guess what was the cost of entry to work with these guys, which was $50,000. And he said, look, if you don't have that money, then don't even waste your time coming. And that's unfortunate, because a lot of us do have a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 in the bank that because we don't know what to do, we're going to go ahead and spend it or give up and spend it on things that may hold us back even further. And so, I started Googling, and on YouTube, I started putting how to invest $100, how to invest $1,000. You'd be amazed on what you can do with $100. You'd be amazed on what you could do with $1,000. And it's just these things that, what if you had the credit where you didn't have to wait to get paid or save up for a whole year for a certain amount? What if you had the credit, right? Just sitting there, and it allows you to take your time to go ahead and look at all the options that are out there available. And if that card has miles or points or cash back, then you're getting those opportunities at a much lower cost. Or it's paying you back in some sort of way or form, whether you're incentivized by miles, cashbacks, points, and so on and so forth, guys. So I know I'm kind of rambling on over here, but for the most part, let me go ahead and give some shout outs and let everybody know here, and answer some of you guys' questions. Francisco Velez, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel. Fatal J, hey bro, can you send a dispute letter to the credit bureaus asking them to remove collections, even if you haven't paid? So, I think kind of response, excuse me, that kind of response to the credit bureaus, I think is the wrong way to approach it. The only thing you should be asking the credit bureaus for is to validate or verify something. Unless you get some sort of letter that the collection agency couldn't verify or validate something, then that's what you go ahead and send over to the credit bureaus, right? And so we have to separate how we need to approach and what type of questions are really to who, right? Because again, the credit bureaus only report what's sent to them by the creditors or collection agencies, right? And in that process, obviously, there's a lot of errors that can happen, which is why we should be monitoring our credit and looking to see whether things are validated or not, right? And so hopefully that answers your question. Now, if there's a collection that's bothering you or you're looking to get more insight from, feel free to call the number in the screen and take advantage of the free credit evaluation. Guys, there's only 20 minutes. If you got time to brush your teeth, if you got time to take a shower, put on your shoes, and get dressed, you got time to do an evaluation, which is going to pay you way more than getting dressed in the morning, right? And so hopefully that helps, Fatal J. D. Widmer, I have been with you guys for 3 months and I haven't heard from anyone. Maybe that's normal, but wasn't sure. D. Widmer, that is, I don't think anybody has not contacted anybody for 3 months. However, please, have you looked at your online portal? Have you looked at your email? And who's your point of contact? Who was the last person you spoke to? Because I'm pretty sure that everything that we do is, if anything, we over communicate. If you have any specific questions, please call the number on the screen right now. I hope that you call in and please ask for me. That way I can confirm, because literally my staff is right behind me. So if you have if you want somebody to speak to, please let me know. And if anything, I'll speak with you over the phone right now here live. TY asked, I have a DUI finding collections and they say I have to pay it to get my license back. What should I do? You need to pay it to get your license back, basically. That's when it comes to legal stuff like that. I would say consult with an attorney. But I don't think, there's any way around that. And I think if there is a way around that, an attorney would answer that question a little bit better. But for the most part, I know that they don't play around with that. They can hold your registration, they can hold your license. So see if that helps. But again, consult with an attorney to see what your options are further. D. Wibner, all right. So, yep, I answered your question on there. The card game, what's up, Pedro? Thanks for always educating us and helping the community. We have changed so many lives. Yes, we have. And thank you so much for that support. Grunge G, what happens if an item doesn't come off of your report? Does this happen often? Yeah, it does happen often. But just because it didn't come off of the report, we need to investigate why. First, we need to look at that account and we need to identify whether there's a discrepancy or not with the way that's reporting and compare it with the other two credit bureaus, right? In a lot of cases, often, very often, credit bureaus report things differently. Whether it's the balance, whether it was the date open, closed, the comments. There's a lot of things that can happen. And it's very easy to identify because it's clearly right there in front of you. And if it's identified, then obviously off the bat, there's a discrepancy for sure. Whether we have to go line by line or one by one, there is a discrepancy. So once we identify the discrepancy, then we go ahead and ask the credit bureaus or collection agencies to go ahead and verify and validate it. And guess what? They have 30 days to do that. And if they can't, then the law states or the FCRA states that it has to be removed, right? But the clear picture is to put that in a way where it's clear to understand that there's clearly a discrepancy. There's clearly something here to be reinvestigated, and therefore it happens. However, remember, guys, if something gets removed from a credit report, it was because it was either unverifiable, inaccurate, or incomplete, right? That's the criteria with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? It has to be verifiable, accurate, and complete. If something got removed, whether you feel that you do owe that money or that account does belong to you or not, if it got removed, it was because something was unverifiable, inaccurate, or incomplete, right? And at least on my part, I wouldn't pay anything or anybody that can't give me verifiable, complete, and accurate information. And hopefully that right there makes sense. Devon Bell. Let me go here. What's up, Devon? Wilmer, they message you on the portal. Check your email info. Make sure it's correct. I normally get a notification in my email. There you go, D Bell. Thank you so much for that. You get notifications every time. Anytime letters are sent out to you, you get a notification saying that we printed them and what accounts are on each page. We're clear, transparent across the board with everything that we do. So hopefully that gives you some sort of clear expectations. Eduardo, what's up, man? How you doing? D Wilmer, thank you, everyone. I will call. Thank you for that, guys. JK, should I use my next stimulus check to pay off my credit cards? Well, that really depends up to you. It's hard for me to say, again, because I don't have your finances. However, if you are going to use it or thinking about using it to pay your credit card, the first thing to do before you pay it is find out when your due date is on your credit card and when your report date is on your credit card. Everybody knows what the due date is. The due date is the day that you have to pay at least the minimum on that account, right? Whether it's $25, whatever the minimum is. Then the report date is the date in which that bank, let's say Capital One, reports that information over to the credit bureaus. So I have a credit card that's due on the 1st, and I know because I asked that report on the 5th of the month. So now me knowing that information, what I do is I pay my balance off in full. I don't mind paying my balance off in full because to me, that's not a bill. I've already programmed myself to look at that as not a bill. I pay my credit card on the 1st. My balance comes down to zero. Why? Because, well, Capital One, if you pay the balance in full, they don't charge you interest on it. They don't make no money off of you. And the money that you paid off the credit card with is available right away just in credit, just like it would be if you transfer from a checking to a savings. And me knowing that, I'm not going to use that card until after the report date. So it reports on the 5th. All my bills that I have assigned to that card is on the 6th of the month. The reason why I do that is because I'm in control to what reports to the credit bureaus. Whatever happens after that date, I can max out that card all I want. The credit bureaus are not going to know. They only know what's going on once a month on the report date of what the bank shows. Now, the bank is going to love you because they see that you're using the card and you're paying it back. But what they're going to go ahead and do is they're going to camouflage it because they're not making money off of you, right? Because credit card companies make money off of you with annual fees, interest, and all those other fees that includes it in with, right? So they're going to see, man, this guy's paying his balance off in full. We're not making money off of this guy. Let's go ahead and increase his credit limit without telling him, right? Let's go ahead and increase the credit limit, which is great, by the way, because the second biggest factor that makes up your credit score is 30% of your credit score, right? And so you want that credit card limit to increase. And then they're going to tell you, hey, congratulations. You went from $1,000 limit to now an $8,000 limit. That's great news, but joke's on them, right? Because you're never passing that 30% rule that I showed you guys. Whatever the limit is, divide by 3 and never pass that, no matter what the emergency is. If you feel like you need to use more than that, increase your limit when you can, obviously. But the reason why they increase your limit is because they want to get you to a point where you're not able to pay that balance down in full again. But again, if you keep it in that 30% or 20% threshold, then again, the joke's on them, and you're able to continuously use that card. Um, and ultimately, that increases your credit score over time. So hopefully that right there helps. Eduardo Antonio, what's up, man? Loved your blog yesterday. Totally awesome. Keep up the great work. Thank you, guys. If you don't know what he's talking about, yesterday I posted up a video of a podcast interview. Excuse me, with Daniel Rosen from Credit Repair Cloud, and we was talking about a little bit about how I've been able to develop a business through the content that I created on this channel and the education, and we go from thanks, and going from there. So it was a very very humbling experience. I know a lot of people got to see it, and again, guys, I owe it all to you guys, and I'm just happy to continue to help you guys and educate you guys and provide us a valuable service to you guys that's ultimately able to help you guys out. So if you guys haven't watched that, go ahead and do so. It was the one that I posted literally yesterday. All right, Sean Brunson, what's up? Changing lives. Hey, bro, I'm one of them. Awesome, Sean. Thank you so much for the comment. Stellium X3. I lost wallet years ago. They ran up Nordstrom's account in my name. Wow, sorry to hear that. I never got a police report. Can I dispute? Wow, interesting. It may be a little bit difficult. However, I'm pretty sure you can. Did you ever report it lost or stolen the moment it happened? Because if you do, what the companies usually do is they do an investigation on the account. And they call Nordstrom or whatnot. Maybe Nordstrom could take a look at the cameras at the same time and date and see who was the one, swiping the card or using your card. I know a lot of those things happen a lot sometimes. But guys, if this ever happens to you and it's a significant amount, please report it to your bank and call the police, right? And do a report about it, because that can ultimately save you a lot of headaches in the long run. So hopefully that helps. However, if you need some more insight, we have dealt with clients that this has happened before and we have successfully deleted it. Again, it depends on the specifics, but again, hard to say. That's why I'm always pushing out the free credit evaluation, to give us a little bit more perspective on the details of those accounts. So, hopefully you call the number in the screen. Grunge G, if an item doesn't come off for some reason, what are your next options? Negotiate payment for delete. Negotiating payment for delete is hardly given, but yes, that's the ultimate last resort. To this day, I haven't been able to do that. But if something for some reason comes back verified, well, we want to ask, how did you verify it, and with who did you verify it, and can I have copies of the documents that you used to verify it? And can I have the contact information of who was the one to verify, and what company was it the one to verify? We go really detailed in that, and we even do complaints up to the FTC, the State Attorney General's office, the CFPB, or whatever it is that we got to do to get that documentation. And chances are they're not going to get it, therefore it has to be removed. But one thing to really think about, guys, and again, this is if you do your research, and we're doing research here all the time, right? We're looking into we've come across enough scenarios that we can anticipate what the next move is or how the bureaus are going to respond. Why? Because we understand how the credit bureaus respond. It's not really a human being checking these dispute letters, but it's machines that predict what it is that you're asking for. So sometimes when something comes back verified, you guys don't even know the small amount of information that it even takes to verify an information off of the credit bureaus. Sometimes if the name, the address, the date of birth, and the last four match, then the credit bureaus are going to consider that as verified, and they're going to send it to you, and then you give up, right? Oh, I guess it's verified, then I got to pay it. No, you have to ask the next question. How did you verify? Let me see the documentation that you use, because I need to investigate that. And again, if they can't provide it, then that account has to be removed. That's what I would say the next move is. Evan, hey Ray, I've been with you guys for months. TransUnion has never sent any correspondence, and they never ever received any disputes from you guys. What do I do next? Evan, if you don't mind, call us, because again, we have tracking numbers for everything that we do, and we have tracking numbers for this specific situation right here. I know due to the COVID or whatnot, maybe the mailing might be a little bit slow. However, the FCRA states 30 days, and we're able, with our tracking number, we're able to prove when something got received or end. So highly doubt that TransUnion didn't receive anything from us, because again, we can prove it with tracking numbers and the copy of our letters that we have it, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and say that TransUnion is wrong for that one. However, in order to properly service you, please call the number on the screen or call in now so that we can go ahead and verify this with you, because my processing team is available right now. JK, thank you. Thank you very much. Evan, I also have 4 accounts with Capital One that I always pay in full each month, and they always deny any increases. It may be because the last time you asked for an increase was too soon. It may be because you have many inquiries. Again, I'm not seeing your account right now. It may be because your last late payments may be too recent, because there's a time frame that the underwriting department um uh has strict guidelines. And guys, underwriting departments for banks, their criteria, their guidelines are not publicly accessible, right? And so sometimes we may not understand why things are going on the way it happens. However, Evan, again, to provide you with more details, feel free to call the number on the screen, option number 2, to speak to processing, which is in-house now. D Bell, I got another pull on the 22nd by you guys. I didn't think my account was too bad off. Would you have time to look over my file? Absolutely, D Bell. Feel free to again to call the number on the screen so my processing team can do the reevaluation here for you. So make sure to contact them now. Stilium, thank you. Oh, thank you. And Chris Romero, I have been with you guys about a month and a half now, and I have not received any letters except one that I have sent to y'all. Haven't heard from y'all after that. When should I get more letters? You should get it on between 30 to 45 business days. However, again, if that is really the case, we have tracking numbers and a copy of the letters that we sent over. If that's really the case, then what we're going to go ahead and do is that we'll consult with an attorney in your state for a possible violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If we find that the credit bureaus received the letter and didn't respond back to us within the original time frame, then you're subject to sue the credit bureaus. And obviously, we'll definitely help you, assist you with that, because again, we have copies of everything that we do. With that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I highly encourage you guys to take advantage of the free credit evaluation. Whether you do business with us or not, we like to educate you guys and give you some more perspective as to what's on your credit report, what's holding you back, and what you can really do to reach your credit goals. And hopefully I provided a little bit of better insight as to, how we should look at things, especially nowadays, whether it's getting in a credit restoration service, whether if you're thinking about buying the next thing. I know what I think about is, before I buy something, is how much value is this going to add to me, or how much money am I going to make back from this, right? And if the answer is little to no every time, then I'm not going to get it at all, right? And so sometimes we need to kind of set these strict rules for us in order to be able to move forward intelligently, right? And so with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for the love and support. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with family and friends. And until the next episode on Keeping It Real with Credit, peace. Guys, call in. I'll be waiting for your call. I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys. Bye.